As you move deeper into French, you begin to notice that not all verbs follow the same perfectly straight path. Some bend slightly, subtly reshaping themselves depending on the ending they take. These are regular ER verbs that change their spelling in certain forms, not to confuse you, but to ensure that the sound remains consistent. French, after all, is a language that listens closely to itself. If spelling remained rigid, pronunciation would begin to wobble. So instead, spelling adapts, flexes, and quietly preserves the melody of the language. As conjugations unfold, the endings you attach to a verb begin to influence how its stem is heard. A vowel shifts, a consonant hardens. A sound risks changing entirely. At that moment, French intervenes. The ending you add can shift pronunciation. To prevent that shift, the spelling adjusts. It is less a rule to memorize and more a principle to observe. French is constantly tuning itself like an instrument before a performance. Take manger, a verb you will encounter almost immediately in everyday conversation. At first glance, you might expect nous mangons, but something feels off. The sound hardens, losing the softness that defines the verb, so French intervenes gently. Nous mangeons. That single added E restores balance. In French pronunciation, G before A or O produces a hard sound like in go, but manger carries a soft G like the J in je. To preserve that softness, an extra E is inserted, ensuring the sound remains mangeons, not mangons. Je mange, tu manges, il mange, elle mange, on mange, nous mangeons, vous mangez, il mange, elle mange. As you grow familiar with this pattern, you'll start to recognize its companions, verbs that follow the same gentle adjustment, like arranger, bouger, changer, loger, mélanger, nager, partager, voyager. Nous mangeons à quelle heure? Nous mangeons à midi. Now consider commencer. Once again, the pattern appears stable until you reach the nous form. Without adjustment, nous commençons. Here, the C risks hardening into a K sound, disrupting the flow of the verb. So French makes a precise alteration. Nous commençons. A small hook beneath the C, and the sound is restored. In French, C before A or O produces a hard K sound. To maintain the soft S sound, the language introduces the cedille, ensuring continuity in pronunciation. Je commence, tu commences, il commence, elle commence, on commence, nous commençons, vous commencez, il commence, elle commence. And just like before, this is not an isolated case, but a family of verbs moving in unison. Commencer, avancer, prononcer, annoncer, lancer. Quand commençons-nous les cours? Nous commençons maintenant. As we move further, the pattern becomes slightly more nuanced. With verbs like appeler and acheter, the language has two different strategies to preserve sound. With appeler, the shift is visible. J'appelle, tu appelles, il appelle. Then sadly, nous appelons, vous appelez. The consonant doubles in some forms, then returns to a single letter in others. The doubling ensures that the vowel maintains an open E sound, preventing it from flattening into a neutral E. J'appelle, tu appelles, il appelle, nous appelons, vous appelez, ils appellent. Other verbs: projeter, se rappeler, rejeter. With acheter, the transformation takes a different path. J'achète, tu achètes, il achète. But nous achetons, vous achetez. Here, instead of doubling a consonant, the language introduces an accent grave. The E accent signals an open vowel sound, guiding pronunciation and preventing it from becoming too flat or closed. J'achète, tu achètes, il achète, nous achetons, vous achetez, ils achètent. Other similar verbs: élever, enlever, se lever, peser, se promener, geler, mener, promener, soulever. Tu achètes du pain? Oui, j'achète du pain et du fromage. As these patterns unfold, it becomes clear that French spelling changes are not arbitrary flourishes or decorative quirks. They are precise functional adjustments. They exist to ensure smooth pronunciation, consistency across forms, clarity in spoken language. Without them, French would lose its fluidity. The language would still function, but it would sound less like a melody and more like a sequence of mechanical beats. Un matin simple. Marie se lève tôt. Elle appelle son ami Paul. Bonjour Paul, tu manges avec moi? Paul répond. Oui, j'arrive. Nous commençons à quelle heure? Marie dit. Nous mangeons à 10 heures. J'achète du pain. Paul sourit. Parfait. J'apporte du café. Ils commencent la journée ensemble, simplement. Here's a quick recap. Verbs that end in GER add an E. Mangeons. Verbs that end in CER use a cedille. Commençons. Verbs that end in ELER or ETER have a double consonant or an accent change. For example, appelle, achète. All for one reason: to preserve sound. Now it's your turn to bring these verbs to life. Try this. Write 3 sentences using manger, commencer, acheter. Say them out loud and notice the sound shifts. À bientôt!